I wanted to spend some time talking about my process for playing video games. Think of this video as how to get through your gaming backlog. Everyone has different ways that suits them best, but ever since I started ranking all the games throughout my lifetime 4 years ago, I had to find some way of organizing all of it. Hence the creation of these long lists on Word doc. The first list is the actual tier list, ranked on a scale from 1 to 10, with the best being the top 10, then spectacular, great, good, above average, average, below average, bad, terrible, and then full-on WTF for the absolute worst. The second list is made up of the games that I have completed thus far. As you can imagine, there are a lot of games in it, each one having a place somewhere in the tier list. The final list is made up of to-be-determined games. This is the actual backlog made up of games I have not completed and thus have not put into the tier list. I have so many games to get through that I had to sort them into different categories. Steam and PC, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and some miscellaneous Nintendo stuff. This brings us to the most important part, the current games playing. This is separated to 3 sections depending on the type of console. The PlayStation consoles, the Nintendo consoles, and of course PC. In each of these sections includes the games I'm currently playing for their respective platforms. How this works is on a 3-day rotation. Day 1 is the PlayStation games, currently with the underrated Jankfest The Saboteur and the original Persona 4. Day 2 is with Nintendo, currently playing Simon's Quest and trying to figure out if this game is as bad as they say, Super Metroid, which is definitely as great as they say, and Trine 3, which is a little bit different because I'm playing that with friends and only when we have the spare time. Oh yeah, and Tears of the Kingdom, but you probably already knew about that. Lastly, Day 3 with the Steam and PC games, currently with the delightfully gory boomer shooter Forgive Me Father, and Planescape Torment, which has eaten up a good chunk of my year. After that, I just rotate back to Day 1 and start over. It sounds like a needlessly complicated process, probably because it is, but I actually find it to be pretty effective. Sometimes I play just one of these games, or multiple if I have the time in one day. Last year, I was able to finish more than 80 games with this method, so I must be doing something right, I hope. But what I like to do after I finish a game is to put it in a list of completed games by year. This helps to give a sense of accomplishment in knowing that you are in fact shrinking that backlog. But this brings us to the most involved part of the whole process, the notes and reviews. While, or even after I finish a game, I find that I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of hot takes, if you will. Sometimes they're just a smattering of ideas, like how Pokemon Brilliant Diamond is a lazy piece of shit that make me stop playing Pokemon games. Some of them are just full-on essays, like everything I have on Elden Ring or Infamous Second Son. Not exactly video essay length, but you know, it's a lot. I do this mostly for the sake of posterity. In the moment-to-moment of gaming, you'll find that you'll have a thought that you might forget in the future, so it would be important to jot it down. Some of the games that I've already talked on here have had some lines cribbed from these very notes and reviews. So thanks, past me. The final part of how to get through your gaming backlog is something I introduced this year and is relatively short, so we'll talk about it now. This part shows what games I've played in what order this year, but not only that, but how much time I've dedicated to each one. Knowing how much time you spend with the games you play is important, to know not only how to limit yourself, but also when you can indulge. Everything highlighted in yellow are the games that I've completed, and everything that's not is still on the to-do list. Whew, this one took a little bit out of me, I'm not gonna lie. Also, if there's any games that you saw here that you want to hear me talk about, please let me know. And you can make of that what you will.